All right, let's dive right into a really fascinating, kind of backward idea. What if the best way to learn something new isn't to add more knowledge, but to start by emptying your mind? It's a simple thought, but trust me, it might just flip how you look at things.
From day one, we're taught that learning is all about accumulation, stacking up more facts, more skills, more information. But what if the very things we think we already know are actually the biggest walls we built? What if our own expertise is the one thing keeping us from our next big discovery?
Well, this whole concept is wrapped up perfectly in a classic Zen story. It's a really simple tale, really, about a super smart professor, a wise Zen master, and, of all things, a cup of tea. So, I want you to picture this guy. He is at the absolute top of his game. We're talking brilliant, famous, the kind of person who's respected by pretty much everyone in his field. He's the guy with all the answers. And this is really the core of it, right here. This professor wasn't just smart. He was full of his own smarts. He had an opinion, a theory, a framework for absolutely everything. His mental cup, you could say, was already filled to the very brim. There was no more space. So when he decides to go visit a famous Zen master, he's not going with an open mind. Oh no, he's going to debate. He wants to show off just how much he knows and prove that his way of thinking is, well, better. His goal is 100% to talk, not to listen. And sure enough, the second he gets there, the professor just launches into this massive monologue, a flood of complicated ideas and opinions. He just fills the whole room with his voice. And the whole time, the Zen master, he just smiles, listens, and very quietly starts to pour tea. The professor keeps talking and talking, and the master just keeps pouring. The tea rises in the cup, higher and higher, until it reaches the very edge. It can't possibly hold another drop. And this is the moment. This is where it all changes. Because the master doesn't stop. The tea spills over the rim, fills the saucer, and starts to make a mess on the table. And for the first time, the professor stops talking.
He's completely confused. He shouts out, "Stop! The cup is full. Nothing more can possibly go in." I mean, he sees the obvious physical fact right in front of him. You can't pour more into something that's already completely full.
The master just calmly sets the teapot down, looks the professor straight in the eye, and says quietly, "You are this cup." And boom, there it is, the whole lesson. The master basically tells him, you showed up here so full of your own ideas, so sure of what you already know, that there's just no room for anything new. How can I possibly show you anything if your mind is already spilling over? So, let's unpack this. The story isn't saying we should be ignorant or empty-headed. No way. It's about the incredible power that comes from being open. In this idea, it actually has a name. It's a concept that can seriously unlock growth in every single area of our lives. In Zen, it's called beginner's mind. And it doesn't mean you know nothing. It means you're approaching something, even a topic you're a total expert in, with curiosity instead of certainty. It's about being free from that heavy burden of always having to be the one who's right. And you can see this play out everywhere. That full mind is the person at work who shuts down an idea with, "Nope, that's not how we do things here." It's being stuck. But that empty mind, that beginner's mind, that's the CEO who takes an entry-level coding class just for fun, ready to be bad at it. It's making space for wonder. I mean, which one of those sounds more like a path to real discovery? So look, this old story isn't just a clever little fable. It's a direct question aimed at every single one of us. And this is where we kind of have to turn the focus back on ourselves. Let's make this really practical. Think about the last disagreement you had. Were you actually listening to the other person, or were you just waiting for them to stop talking so you could make your next point? What about a belief you've held for years? What would happen if you just set it down for a minute and just tried to see things from a totally different angle? So I'll leave you with this final thought. We all carry these cups. They're full of our experiences, our beliefs, all the stuff we've worked so hard to learn. And that's a good thing. But the real challenge, the secret to real continuous growth, is having the courage to intentionally empty that cup once in a while, just to make room for something new and unexpected. So, what overflowing cup are you carrying around today?